Will take it. It's a first down for Antioch. 2:36 to go, first quarter. We've already had more action in this game than in the 1987 season here on AT&T Broadband, back when we were Viacom. Handoff McGee. McGee trying to get outside. Not this time. 55. Kevin Spitz in on the play. And a loss on the play for Antioch of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13 as the clock runs here in the first quarter, 2:20 to go.
And John Ornelas was in on that tackle also, number 88. He helped out. And you're right, we're calling all of the same people, Dan. They got some good players.
You can see McGee's stats already, Steve, and we'll show him the next time we have him as you take a look at one of those cute Antioch Panther cheerleaders. 82 yards on 5 carries from McGee in the first quarter. Pate to pass. Pate short drop. Up the sideline. He's got a receiver, and then I don't know what happened there. Trucks, I looked like he was trying to get around number 8 Carpenter, and the pass falls incomplete.
It looked like they both got their feet not tangled up with each other, but they both got tangled up with themselves. Looked like Carpenter got tangled up with himself, and then here we go. Well, we got the end of it right there, Dan.
Third and 13.
So far, I'm real impressed with Pate throwing the ball, Dan. He's doing a very good job. It looks like his ball's coming out of his hands real nice. He's only 5'9", so you always talk about the height, but what's Flutie?
Not much more than that. No. I think 5'7", actually. Third down. Pate throws. Oh, he's got Smith wide open. Nice little, almost looked like a pick play. And Smith has a first down. You see what they did that time, Steve? They ran trucks deep, and then Smith just cut underneath him. He was wide open. Antioch a first down.
And Damian Hogue was putting all kinds of pressure. Here comes Hogue, 51 to Pate. And right here, he's out in the flat and just makes a nice couple moves, and they're going to move the flag for the Panthers. And the Mustangs are on their heels again. Dan, this is going to come down to the fourth quarter. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so.
It's going to be interesting what that scoreboard's going to look like in the fourth quarter.
I don't know. Do they have a 1 digit in front of those two things? 14-13 here in the first quarter, and that's number 5 Dixon running the ball for Antioch, and he gets a couple. 1:26 to go, first quarter.
They went behind DiMaggio and Derek DiMaggio and Brian Hatch on that, and Ryan Norris did a real good job too up front. Them guys are doing a real good job over there on the left side, Dan.
Well, we got to make sure we check all of because some of the lineups we were given, Steve, did not materialize. I think they've actually switched it now to where that is Sino and Guillory on that side.
On that side, is it?
Actually, also now it looks like 73. Yeah, it is Guillory. Guillory changed his number to 73, so that's another reason why it's Guillory and Sino on the left side, Hatch and Joe Vacchini on the right side, and a handoff this time. Got to get that number. It could have been Dixon again, maybe McGee. It was Dixon, and Dixon, no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 9 for Antioch. Antioch's converted on a couple of third downs.
Yeah, they really have, Dan, and
I think Ricky Martin just walked into the stadium.
Were they screaming, going nuts?
Oh my gosh. Not a bad crowd out here tonight, Steve.
No.
Antioch has, in past years, tried to rebuild after half of the school left and went over to Deer Valley. And we'll have that game for you here on October 6th and 7th, the Wolverines and the Panthers. Deer Valley and Antioch on AT&T Broadband. Last play of the first quarter, Pate scrambling. Pate throws. He's got a receiver wide open. It's Tyner, and Tyner has a first down. Joey Pate has been very impressive here in the first quarter.
He really has, Dan, and right there he showed some elusiveness by getting out of the way. Let's watch the replay right here, Dan. Right here he's got some pressure from Hogue again, number 51, and Pate right over the middle. Beautiful throw. Going to move the chains, and Antioch's drive keeps going.
Well, it's a first down for Antioch, but that'll wrap up the first quarter of play tonight from Eels Field and Antioch. The score after a quarter, Antioch 14, Monte Vista 13. We'll be right back after this.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love seat chairs.
What you doing, Dad?
I'm just getting rid of my old used motor oil.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
What? Whoa!
It's Mr. Funhead, the captain of clean water.
What are you doing? Use your brain, not the storm drain. Recycle your used motor oil for a cleaner future. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back at Antioch High School, the end of the first quarter, you see the score: Antioch 14, Monte Vista 13. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez with Ron Carter and Matt Bolander at Eels Field tonight. And Steve, that was a great action-filled first quarter.
If you like offense, Dan,
I do.
Well, then you like the first quarter because both teams showed that they could move the ball at will, and there was one big turnover by Antioch, and a couple turnovers by the Mustangs too. So right now it's just it's going to be a real interesting game, and the fourth quarter is going to be fun.
Antioch actually is thinking about applying for an expansion team in the Arena Football League after that first quarter, and they might get one.
They might get one.
They keep doing this. Second quarter, Antioch starts at the Monte Vista 20. Pate's the quarterback. Dixon is the back behind him, and a fake pitch and then a handoff to Dixon, and Dixon is swarmed under by a host of Mustangs. Can Mustangs be in a host, Steve?
Sure they can.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. Matt Swan, number 66, was in on that play as well. That was Grant Anderson, who's getting some playing time here in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So Antioch, other than McGee, has not been able to do much running, but Pate has been very impressive throwing. And you can see all the big guns are coming back in for Antioch. They took a blow there. And we're going to get a quick replay.
Quick replay, number 5, and right there he is, covering up the middle real good.
Injured Panther on the sidelines. We'll have to try to figure out who that is. It looks like he might have a cramp. Second down, Pate will throw. Pate goes to the sideline, to the corner. Oh, and trucks. It looked like he had it. It was in his hands just for a moment. Great coverage from Carpenter.
Great job by Carpenter.
And that falls incomplete. Pate is throwing the ball on the money. Here's a replay of this.
Yeah, here it is right there in the pocket. Puts it on up. And right there you think I might have 6. And watch his hand come in there. Yep. Good play by Carpenter.
Steve, another great sponsor, a good friend of yours, S&S Imports in Antioch.
Yeah, Randy Scott down there on 10th Street for all your import repairs. Go see him right there at 806 West 10th Street in Antioch.
Steve would know because he's delivered many mufflers to S&S Imports.
And I backed into his truck, my UPS truck too this year, and I lost my safe driving days.
That was probably Pate's worst effort of the night so far, as he threw that one incomplete down the middle, and that could have been intercepted.
Yeah.
It'll be third down. We're just started the second quarter here tonight, Steve, the opening night of high school football in this area. A lot of great games going on tonight. Are you telling me that number 4 is injured?
I'm telling you it's fourth down.
Oh, it's fourth down. I was going to say that, but I'm trying to figure out who's injured down here. It is fourth down. Antioch will go. The ball, they need 9 yards, 4th and 9. The ball at the 19. Here's Pate to throw. Good rush. Inside screen, Tyner, and that was a bad pass that time from Pate. He overthrew Tyner on an inside screen, the same play that Monte Vista scored their touchdown.
And Damian Hogue has really been putting a lot of pressure on Pate, and he's been close. Let's watch number 51 again here, Dan. From the outside, comes on up, and he's putting pressure on him, and he forced him to throw it high, and the Mustangs get the ball. They get their chance, and Wright's back on the field and with his wideouts.
Well, you know, there's an example of a guy who's 6'4" and a guy who's 5'9". The 6'4" guy was able to throw the ball and lead his receiver, whereas Pate had to throw over the line and made Tyner jump for it, could not come down with it. So on the change of possession, Monte Vista takes over at the 19-yard line, and Baring is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. I think he was tripped up. Might have been Williams. Beltram was there. It was Jesse Williams with the tackle, so no gain. Actually, we'll call it a loss. No, we're going to call it no gain.
No gain, right back with that.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
You can't always trust the scoreboard.
No.
2nd and 10, Monte Vista. Monte Vista has not made a lot of personnel changes on offense, Steve.
No, they really haven't. They're sticking with their guns, and so far they're doing a good job. They're feeling comfortable with Wright at the helm, and look for him to be throwing the ball and getting some more numbers up.
Here's Wright. Nice pass. Oh! Mr. Carpenter, say hello to Mr. Beltram.
Yes, and he got hit hard.
He might be hurt.
Oh, he's going to be down for a little bit.
You know, the belt in Beltram, you saw it there.
Yeah.
That was a big-time hit, and he might have got him under the chin pad.
Yeah, he might be gasping for some air right there. There you see some Monte Vista players concerned.
Look at the hit.
And watch this hit, Dan. Just number to number. Oh, boy. He got hit hard.
Yes, he did. And Richie Beltram's a big boy.
Yes. Been playing ball a long time.
5'11", 185, just a junior, though. They expect that's a guy that could be an all-league player. Good to see Carpenter up, though, and running off on.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Under his own power as he heads to the sideline. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Monte Vista after that reception. 10 minutes to go here in the first half. 14-13 Antioch on the opening night of football here. AT&T Broadband this year, Steve, with Bay TV out of business, we're it.
We're the main show in town, Dan.
We are. You like high school football, you got to watch us and then watch the Sports Focus tomorrow morning.
That's right.
Right with a long count. Deep drop. Over the middle, inside screen again. Antioch was all over it this time.
Beltram again.
Turner, the reception. It's going to be 4th and 2. And I would assume that Monte Vista would punt in this situation.
You got to kick the ball.
Craig Bergman over there. A number of his coaches. We were talking about Chris Babcock. Sandy Malnick, the former coach at Concord High School. His son Steve is the defensive coordinator. It looks like Mike Maria. I'm going to have to talk to Craig about his writing. And Bill Pion. And if I mispronounce any of those names, it's because Craig can't spell very good.
You talking about Coach Bingham?
Coach Bergman.
Bergman?
It does look like Bingham, though.
It looks like Bingham there. That's what it says. He can't even write his own name.
He's like a doctor. Right to kick. Good punt.
Nice punt.
Kicks. He didn't want anything to do with either Trucks or Smith that time. And the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it. Now let's see where they mark it. I see the mark. It's at the 42-yard line. That's where Antioch will take over. So after those 3 quick touchdowns, Steve, we've had 3 quick possessions of nothing.
Yeah. Kind of 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and
actually
Antioch,
there was a 4 and out.
That's right on Antioch's side. But Antioch's got good position right here. They're right before midfield, and 8:50 to go. This should be a big possession in the game right here.
Hate the quarterback. And McGee gets a pitch, goes around left end, still on his feet. Gain of about 3. Zilius was in on that play, coming around from his tackle position. Monte Vista is picked to finish 3rd in the league this year by the Contra Costa Times. Steve, Antioch, a lot of people think it'll come down to Antioch and Pittsburgh on the game we will show here on November 11th for the BVL Championship.
The 83rd big little game.
Antioch this year also. Next week they're at Granada and then at California before they open league play at Liberty. And then we'll have them here against Deer Valley and against Ignacio from Diablo Valley College, against Clayton Valley, and against Pittsburgh. So you'll see Antioch a lot this year. And if the predictions hold true, this should be an exciting team. Pate to throw, has Trucks. Trucks has a first down, and Trucks is brought down by Ornelas at the 44-yard line.
Pate did a real good job by hanging in the pocket that time, Dan. Got a lot of pressure, hung in there, and waited for his tight end to clear out and hit him.
You know, Ferris said this might be the best group of receivers he's ever had.
I can see why he feels that way.
I can now, because one thing about Antioch in the past, Steve, is that they had some great quarterbacks. They had Mark Butterfield here. They had Enriquez here, Jason Verduzco. Sometimes the balls weren't caught.
Yeah.
You know, these guys have good hands. They're catching everything that's thrown to them just about. First down, handoff, McGee. McGee's in there. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
I think Antioch came up with it, because I don't see Monte Vista's players jumping up and down over there. It's on their sideline.
You can usually tell.
Yeah. And we got an Antioch player down.
We never did see who the injured Antioch player was. He's on the bench now, Steve, and McGee might be down now, but it might be T. Dixon that's hurt on the sideline, and he's on the bench, and he looks injured. That is McGee right there getting up very slowly. So if that is T. Dixon who's injured, and if McGee is injured, Antioch is going to be down 2 running backs.
Yeah.
I can see the 5 on his jersey. We don't have a sideline reporter tonight. We hope to have one for you next week. There's Aaron McGee. There's his first half stats, 86 yards already. He gained 122 in the game last year. I think McGee will be returning to the game, though. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's a replay. Steve, one day we will teach you what the buttons mean here.
Yeah.
The green one means Dr. Ron and the red one means cough, not the other way around. So I still cannot decipher who the injured Antioch player is on the sideline. We will try to figure it out for you. McGee is standing, and he should be okay. Peacock in the game now as Antioch on second down. Pate throws long. Smith. Oh, Smith just out of his reach at the 12-yard line.
Good throw.
Coverage by Bering.
He put that ball where either Smith was going to catch it or nobody was going to catch it. Here it is up in the air, Dan, and watch him reach out, just out of his fingertips. Good throw, though.
As I was saying, Steve, we don't have a sideline reporter tonight, and we should have one later in the year that would be able to check on some of these things for
What
us.
happened to Joey Acuna?
I don't. Joey Acuna's around. Joey Acuna's around, but for some reason he was busy tonight.
Oh, come on.
I think he had a tuxedo fitting.
He probably had a family gathering.
He has
And
a lot
there's
of
more
family.
people there than there is here.
Third down. Pate. Now there's the inside screen. Now that's interference, and they didn't call it.
No.
That's a horrible call. Rowe was hit well before the ball got there. Should have been a penalty.
Let's see if we can't pick this up on a replay, Dan. The ball's in the air. Let's see how quick he gets hit. We got a good action right here.
Oh,
yeah, that's an offensive. That's a
that's-
defensive pass interference right there.
Yep, they missed that
They
one.
missed one.
And you only got 4 guys out here, Steve. Sometimes they're not going to
Yeah.
get everything, but to me,
And a
that
gal.
one-
We got 3
we
guys
got
and a
3
gal.
guys and a gal. I think there's
Was there a movie?
I think there's a new movie coming out called that. It'll be over at one of our great sponsors theaters, Brendan Theaters, too, by the way.
Yeah.
A product tie-in. I think this Antioch Panther running towards us is not supposed to be on the field, and he made it off just in time. Antioch to kick. Loma the punter. And Loma, that'll be a good one if it gets an Antioch bounce.
But
it really doesn't. Bounces out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So Monte Vista takes over. So now we've kind of
Hit a lull.
yeah, just a little lull. No one's really doing much here on offense. The defenses have kind of caught up with the offense here, and it's 14-13 Antioch, and it's been that way, Steve, for about 10 minutes of play now.
Well, they kind of adjusted to each other, Dan, and you knew it couldn't go on like that all game. And right now, they're kind of filling each other out, and it's kind of hitting a lull right now. And look for some more quick scores from both these teams before this game's up. We got a lot of football to be played.
6:46 to go. Second quarter, Monte Vista trailing by 1, and they have the ball at their own 22-yard line. Handoff to Bering, and Bering breaks a couple of tackles. Trucks in on that tackle, Steve, and that's another thing.
Williams,
These are
79 also. Go ahead, Dan.
a lot of guys going both ways,
Yeah,
which leads to fatigue.
and which leads to a long season and how you do down the stretch. Sometimes teams get injured, banged up, and depth means so much in high school football, Dan. So whoever has the most depth is going to be looking good in November.
We mentioned the Monte Vista coaches, Bob Fisher, the offensive coordinator, Jim Baccio, who was a great player here.
Oh, he was a great running back.
At Antioch is the defensive coordinator, Mark Butterfield, who not only played quarterback here, but played quarterback at Stanford and was drafted by the Chicago Bears, is the quarterback's coach. His first year here as Monte Vista calls timeout. Give us a chance to review the entire coaching staff. Anthony Borelli, who played here in the 80s, is the offensive line coach. Greg Davis, Chris Henry, and Al Anthony round out the coaching staff for Antioch. The junior varsity game tonight went to Antioch 21-7. Vern Martin is the head coach of the junior varsity.
Him and Frank Mercado, they do a good job with the JVs.
Very good job. And, of course, Jeff Rich is the principal, and we'd like to thank Jeff and all his staff for helping us put this game together today as we are here in a timeout in the second quarter. 6:09 to go, 14-13. Antioch on top. And, Steve, next week we'll be at Los Lomas.
Los Lomos.
Yes, the Knights and the College Park Falcons. The Falcons
Should be a good one.
should be much improved. Los Lomas last year went to the North Coast Section Division II championship game. Or maybe it was the Division III championship game. You know what? It was one of those
It
divisions.
was one of them divisions. They went to the championship game.
You know what? And look at how those spiffy graphics
Look
we
at
have
that.
there now. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what game it was, Steve. It was the game De La Salle doesn't play in.
Right.
Whatever division they're
Yeah,
in, the other
one.
I think it's either 2 or 3. But you know what? I'll know next week. Because
Yeah.
I will study both of those teams.
I know
before
you will.
But I have not studied them yet because I had to study these two. Here we go. Back to play. 2nd and 6. Ball at the 27 of Monte Vista. Carpenter in motion, right to pass. Deep drop over the middle. Look at the cannon on that young boy, man.
Yes. He can really let it fly. And Derek DiMaggio put some pressure on him up the middle.
There was coverage back deep from Trucks, from Smith, from Hilton, Tyner. Everyone was back there. Actually, not Trucks, but Smith for Antioch. But that guy has a cannon.
Yes, he does. He can throw the ball.
Kyle Wright, we mentioned, passed for 1,500 yards last year. They had a big loss, though, in running back Jeff McDowell, who rushed for over 1,000 yards. Steve.
Yeah, they had a big drop off of that. Brenning's doing a good job, though. We're marching off a foul here. Looks like a personal foul of some sort against Antioch. I don't know if they got him for rushing the Panther. Ferris don't like it. He's halfway out in the middle of the field.
That is T. Dixon. We finally have been able to identify him down, getting worked on the sideline. He must have got hurt on the previous Antioch possession, and then McGee came off hurt, so they were using Peacock at the end of that possession. But that penalty will give Monte Vista a first down, the ball at the 41-yard line. 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter, and Antioch ahead by 1. AT&T Broadband, game of the week.
Running.
And that's Bering, and Bering's going to get a first down. Alves comes, when your defensive ends have to chase down the guy.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's not good news.
Pick up about 13 yards right there.
You know, these teams
they're going to mark them down to the 10, about 10-yard gain. Go ahead, Dan.
They're not running a lot of just straight up the middle stuff. They're using a lot of
little misdirection stuff.
And some late delayed type handoffs, trying to get everyone. I think what that comes from, Steve.
Here it is, up the middle right here. There he goes. And Alves, your defensive end, comes in and makes the play.
As you mentioned, that's not good. When defensive ends are making tackles 10 yards down the field, you don't want to see that. The ball now inside Antioch territory. Now that's what you want to see. You want to see your linebacker coming across and making tackles after 1 yard gains.
That's right.
That was a great
play. Beltram did a great job there. And one thing about Beltram, when he gets you in his grasp, you're down. He grabs you, you're not going far.
I don't even know if he gained a yard there. I think we're going to call it no gain, 2nd and 10. Clock running with 5:18 to go. And Steve, just to give you an idea of some of the games we're going to bring you this year, Concord at Alhambra in 2 weeks, Camp Alindo at College Park, and then right here for Deer Valley and Antioch. Then on October 12th, talk about a big one as you see our schedule. De La Salle at Pittsburgh.
That'd be a big one.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the second half of the season in the second half of this game. Second down, right to pass, right inside screen. I'll tell you, after the first time they got burned, this time Antioch looks like they're keeping like a rover on that guy coming across. That was DeSaw. Hilton made the tackle, a gain of 6. You can see DeSaw, 3 receptions, 44 yards and a touchdown. We have some very nice graphics this year, Steve.
And here it is on the replay, Dan, right over the middle right here. He's going to break across and a real quick tackle.
It was
by
Hilton.
Yeah,
Hilton did a good job there. 3rd and 5. The wide receivers near side are DeSaw and Carpenter, and a big rush this time from Antioch. Trucks is there, and I think
Anthony Trucks was the first one to the scene of the crime. No,
it was also DiMaggio in there, and this time Monte Vista forced to punt.
Let's watch Trucks from the outside here, Dan. Right there, he's just got him. Oh, this is the play before, I think.
That was the play before.
That was the play before.
We liked it so much we thought we'd show it to you again. Yeah. So that last play on 3rd down was the sack of Wright. Good play that time from Trucks from an outside rush, and then DiMaggio with the tackle as well. 4th and 11. Smith and Trucks deep for Antioch. And Wright to kick. And that is not a very good kick. You got to be careful, though. The ball's bouncing around. And it's going to roll down, get a Monte Vista bounce down to the 20-yard line, and Antioch will take over with 3:23 to go in the first half, and Antioch leads 14-13, Steve. And we started out in the first quarter. It looked like we were just going straight downhill, like a roller coaster. We're just kind of now in a little lull. We almost got stuck.
Yeah, kind of like got stuck in quicksand, but you just know the second half is going to be, these teams are going to throw some numbers up.
Monte Vista was 4-6 last year, Steve. And, you know, Monte Vista for years was just a power in the EBAL, along with San Ramon. And then, then the kind of the tide turned when Foothill became a power. And then Foothill and Granada got good again. And that league has just kind of went around in the circle, kind of like how the BVAL is. And this year,
they're expecting big things out of Foothill again this year.
That's right. First down, handoff.
Beltram.
This is it's Beltram now in the backfield, as Antioch has a couple of guys hurt. And Beltram gets about 4. So that shows Beltram's versatility. He can play linebacker, come back and play fullback, but McGee is back in the game. That's a good sign for Antioch.
Yeah, it really is.
As I mentioned, though, in the Open, Steve, in the Chronicle poll, Monte Vista ranked 13th, Antioch 9th. In the Contra Costa Times poll, neither of those teams are rated. Now, how are you 9th in the entire region but not in your own county?
I have no idea.
That's a good one. I thought I might bring that up. Pate hands off to McGee. McGee bounces outside, still on his feet. I'll tell you what, Steve, there's not a lot of guys breaking tackles. There's been a couple.
Yeah.
But there's some good hitting going on.
Yeah, the defenses on both sides are starting to settle down and really wrapping up everybody and doing a good job.
Spitz was in on that play. 3rd and short for Antioch. And haven't had a lot of 3rd and shorts.
No, not at all.
It's either been big plays or 3rd and longs. That's T. Dixon, excuse me, who's injured on the Antioch bench. 3rd and 2, 2 minutes to go, clock running here in the second quarter, 14-13 Antioch. And Antioch forced to call a timeout because it looked like there was mass confusion as there was guys in motion and moving all around.
Not a bad timeout, though. You got a couple to burn, and there's only a couple minutes left. If you're a little confused, hey, take a timeout, talk to your coach, and make sure you got it right. This is a big play.
Let's take a look at our sponsors once again. Rock Bottom Records, of course, in Antioch. New Mecca Cafe, Pittsburgh. Images of 3 Hair Salon. S&S Import Service, Golf and Games in Antioch. Concord Beverage. Pantel's Music Box. A&B Creative Trophies. Mercado's Hairstylist for Men. Now, Bill must have called and put that little plug in there, right?
Panther Country.
And Action Video in Walnut Creek. That's Action Video. Action Video, one of our new sponsors this year, Steve.
Well, welcome to have them aboard.
And that's what we hope to bring you out here is a lot of Action Video.
And there's a lady with a gun. Oh, my God.
That is not a good sign.
No. And she's looking your way, and she doesn't look happy, Dan.
Well, are you sure it's not my wife? We have a group, there's just a bunch of meetings going on out there right now, Steve. You got the Antioch team meeting, the Monte Vista team meeting, the refs are meeting, the cheerleaders are meeting, and I think at halftime we need to have a meeting.
We will.
Okay.
Have a couple Mecca burritos, we'll talk it over.
That's usually the plan. Here comes Antioch, 3rd down. Handoff, this time Beltram, and Beltram runs in there like he's trying to run through a brick wall. And he got stuffed right at the just about where he needed to get for a 1st down.
They're going to have to measure this, I think, Dan. Yeah, they're going to move him.
They're moving the chains. He just got it. And so Antioch with 1:52 to go and 2 timeouts, a 1st down. So you can see now what Antioch's strategy is. It's McGee for the pitches and Beltram for the short yardage.
Yeah.
Nolan and Hilton now come into the game. I'll tell you, though, that's one thing Antioch's going to have to be careful. These 2 young men running off the field right here, Smith and Trucks, they play defense, they play offense, they return kicks. They're going to have to be careful in using them. They don't want to kill them before the 3rd game. 1st down, Pate to throw. Pate over the middle to Tyner. Tyner makes a nice juggling catch as he was being drugged down by Kelly.
Real nice catch. Over the middle, juggling act. You know you're going to get hit. And he held on to it. Watch it right over here, Dan. He starts juggling it. Right here, you know you're going to get popped. And he does get popped.
It was Ornelas who made the final
nice
tackle.
Pop, yeah.
And it was Kelly who drug him down low. So 2nd and 1. Clock is moving at 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. Pate to throw. Over the middle, and that's a penalty. And how can that not be a penalty? I mean, how can that not be pass interference? Can we get a replay of this, Rod Carter? I mean, this is all right. Well, I don't think they called a penalty. That's we want to see if there was a. We want to see if there is a penalty.
Let's watch this here real quick. See if he gets tackled before the ball gets to him.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've missed a couple of them.
Man, I mean, Antioch can't be happy with. There's been 2 very obvious pass interference penalties, and they have not been called. That one wasn't as obvious as the first one, though.
Ferris still doesn't like it, though.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to make him mad, folks.
No.
He's a former professional wrestler, and I think Antioch had to call timeout again.
I just think they're kind of like at the 40-yard line. They're wondering, what should we do here? Should we push this thing up a little bit? It's, you know, they got 3rd and 1, another critical down, and you want to just eat the clock and go in and at halftime with a point lead, regroup and see what happens, or do you want to try to push this down? And I don't know how good their field goal kicker is, Dan, what kind of range he has. So that's what they're probably discussing right now.
Pate's the kicker, who's the quarterback. You saw his stats. After a good start, he's only completed 4 of 13 for 46. On the field right now, you can see left to right Ferris Anthony, Mark Butterfield, and Bob Fisher as we take a look at the crowd lining up at the snack bar for a big activity at halftime, Steve.
Yeah.
And one of the Antioch cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
There's it looks like a youth football jamboree type introduction thing that's going to take place as we see the back of the stands here at Antioch High School. And that's where you and I used to hang out when we were here, Steve.
Yeah, but we...
usually out of reach of local law enforcement.
If you want to call that hanging, that's fine. I was calling it out.
Out.
There wasn't much hanging to do.
Just call the paramedics.
Call the paramedics.
There's a hairdo for you. There's a couple of guys that haven't been to the bar. Haven't been to. You need to go to Mercado's and get a haircut.
That looked like Dan Wall in the 70s right there, folks.
First down as a quick pass outside to Smith gets Antioch a first down, and the clock will stop with 49 seconds to go. The ball up to the 42-yard line. So Antioch with one timeout now and 49 seconds to go, up by 1.
Now, something like this, Dan, I'll just say air it out about 3 times. Maybe you'll get a penalty downfield. If not, try to get it to your wideout so they can make a play, and I think that's what they got in mind. Here comes one of them.
Paid a good pass this time intended for Trucks, but the incomplete. Carpenter on the coverage.
Still got 44 seconds to go in the half.
I think someone needs to point out on the other side over here. Looks like Carpenter is one of their better cover guys. On the other side, though, Bering was one-on-one with Hilton, and he was a good 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Bering's another guy that goes both ways.
And we mentioned his grandfather is Ken Bering, who used to own the Seattle Seahawks.
Who'll be coming to the NFC West.
That's right. That's right. Next year when Seattle debuts in their beautiful new stadium, which is located right behind left field of Safeco Field, they will be in the NFC West with the 49ers, Rams, and Arizona Cardinals. Intercepted. Oh, this could be big. This is Kelly.
Big.
Kelly's going to go. Oh, and then that was a penalty. They didn't call it. Touched it. Someone pushed one of the Antioch players right in the back, and they didn't call a penalty. I mean, unbelievable, Steve. But irregardless of that, Kelly makes a great play on second down. Check this out right here.
Watch it on the replay here, Dan. Right here, he just picks it, and right here, he gets to the outside, shows some pretty good speed for a big man. Here comes McGee, and he's into the end zone.
I don't think I would have called that penalty either. But I have seen guys do something that little and get a penalty called on them in high school football. So Kelly, we're going to call that, Steve, a 55-yard interception return. We've got people just screaming in the stands up here.
Yeah. And, Dan, the thing about it is that's the gamble you play. I knew they were discussing it on the sidelines. They're thinking, do we just take it in, 1-point lead, regroup, or do we try to move it down the field with 40 seconds? And that's the price you pay when you try to go for it. I mean, they didn't throw the ball downfield like we thought they were going to. They threw it over the middle, and it came back to bite them a little bit. So Antioch's going to have to regroup.
So Kelly, a 55-yard return for a touchdown. Let me quickly, Steve, that's Scott Kelly, who's the junior. His brother, who also starts, is Steve Kelly. That was a great play. After seeing that replay, Steve, I don't know if I'd have thrown a penalty flag either, but I have seen ticky-tack things like that get called penalties.
Live, that looked more like a push than what it did on the replay. The replay didn't look as severe as it did live.
It's one of those things where if you aren't in front of the guy, why do you even touch it?
Right.
Why do you even think about it? Monte Vista goes for 2, ahead 19-14, right rolling, right into the right flat, and it's good. Carpenter with the reception. So with 34 seconds to go in the half, Monte Vista now leads 21-14. But Steve, the most important thing is in turnovers that have led to touchdowns, it's 2-0. Monte Vista. Here's a replay of the extra point.
Right here, he just buys time and rolls himself out and has a 2-yard completion and picks up a couple points.
To me, that's the play you should run. If you have a right-handed quarterback and you can take it from the left hash mark, you should run that play every time for a 2-point conversion.
Exactly.
Just that gives
or when
you
it's
so
third
many
and
options.
one, third and one when you need to pick up a first down.
Gives you so many options. The quarterback can roll, the quarterback can throw back, the quarterback can run. Well, that time they got him too, and Monte Vista leads 21-14 here. We'll have some halftime stats for you at the beginning of the third quarter. There's the Antioch sideline.
Mark Butterfield and Coach Ferris Anthony.
Coach, we have mentioned a couple of times, for those of you that don't know on the other side, Ferris was a professional wrestler, went by the name of Earthquake Ferris. And after that last play, there might be a small quake in the locker room.
Be a couple body slams, that's for sure.
Every year, Ferris runs a big wrestling card out here in Antioch, and he'll have another one this year on March 23rd because the Sharks are not playing that night.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah, brother. I think they're going to kick it deep this time, Steve. They have kicked it short, they've kicked it out of bounds, and they've tried an onside kick. And this time, they tried an onside kick again.
And it's theirs.
No, and they got it back. I'll tell you, Antioch is just killing themselves with turnovers.
Yep.
That time the ball came right to Marcus Brown, number 87. He fumbled it, and Monte Vista gets the ball back. So they have onside kicked twice, and they've got it once, and they almost got it the other time.
Yeah.
They've intercepted a pass and ran it back for a touchdown, and they recovered a fumble off of a kickoff.
Well, you know, you really got to look at it with 31 seconds left. What do you got to lose? I mean, that's not a bad play right there. You kick it. If they get it at midfield, they're in the same situation they were 15 seconds ago. 20 seconds ago when they got the turnover. You put it right back on their shoulders if they recovered the ball. But now you got the ball, and you could really put some damage on them right here. If you go in for 7 or even 3, 3 would be huge right now for them.
The ball right at the 50-yard line. 31 seconds to go in the half. Monte Vista leads 21-14. Right to pass. Deep drop. Up the left sideline. A long pass. And Hilton actually looked like he had good coverage, overran the ball that was intended for Desaw, but it fell incomplete. Smith also back there on the coverage for Antioch. That took 7 seconds off the clock. 24 seconds to go.
No.
We will not see a replay on that one, Steve. The Monte Vista, the one thing about this guy with his arm, he could get it in the end zone from here.
Oh, yeah. You know, every time he gets back in the pocket, you kind of hold your breath. Even right then, he stood high in the pocket and let it go, and he's got that powerful arm of his, and he's got some talented wide receivers, and he scares you every time he gets back there.
I'd run the inside screen again, but they're not going to. They're going to run a straight screen as he was dropped. What was that penalty for? What was that for?
I know. We're going to find out, though. It's going to be an interesting call here.
Well, Trucks put Wright down, but Wright was still in possession of the ball as he was falling, so it can't be on Trucks.
It looked like they're going to call him for tripping on the offensive line.
Well, if that is the case, I didn't see it, so there's a... That's a loss of down, Steve.
Here's your replay right here, Dan, and I don't know if you see anything on that. Couple flags flying.
I don't know. It almost looked like maybe it was a guy out of the box or a legal receiver because it's a loss of down here. But we don't have the mic.
Yeah, they had a
referee.
legal man downfield, as they said.
3rd and 20. Inside pitch this time, Bering. Bering's going to be close to first down yardage, and he's going to get a first down. He's still on his feet. Antioch better get a hold of him as he's finally tackled at the 35-yard line. Mark
nice
Redmond.
run.
Monte Vista's going to... They'll either burn a timeout here or they'll just spike the ball with 9 seconds to go.
Well, they got to move the chain, so that's going to give them a chance to get set up.
I think they're going to spike it here, Steve. I'll tell you, I like this Wright kid, Steve. He's very confident.
Very good quarterback.
Yeah, and he spikes it, and then I don't think they were set, so they're going to get a 5-yard penalty. Yeah, a procedure penalty. You know, next year when Monte Vista plays, there's going to be a little section of about 20 scouts.
Yeah.
Every night,
yeah.
Unless he makes his decision now on where he wants to go to school. But
who's the quarterback at Miramonte, Dan? The sophomore?
Mark Guillory.
He's already
Mark Guillen. I'm sorry.
And he's already made a commitment to Miami.
Yes, Mark.
And he's a sophomore.
Guillen. As long as he pronounces it Guillen.
Yeah, you're in good shape.
There are guys that you look at that name and go, to everyone else who spells it like that pronounces it Guillen. We'll do as a matter of fact, Steve, Miramonte at Los Lomas, November 9th.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a good one.
That'll be a good one. And they also have a kid, Carey, that plays for Miramonte, a big running back over there. But, yeah, his name is Mark Guillen, spelled Guillon. And I'm sure that in any other, there could be 7 or 8 different pronunciations of that name.
Right.
I was thinking of Guillory because we have a Guillory here.
Right.
But, so the first 3 letters are the same. Actually, the first 5 letters are the same. Actually, the first 6 letters.
Are we going to move on, Dan?
Is it Wheel of Fortune here tonight? 7 seconds to go in the half. That's our halftime question. Gillen or Guillory? And another penalty.
Oh, come on. My burrito's getting cold. Jeez, you're killing me here.
Steve, your burritos have been cold since 7:30.
That's true.
I think that was too much time.
Let's see if we get a false start on the line. Right there on your right-hand side.
Well, Trucks is nearly on top of the guy's back.
Yeah.
There's Coach Ferris Anthony and Bob Fisher.
Bob Fisher, offensive coordinator. There's a future player right there. Cute little guy. That's Shane Hilt. That's who that was. Shane Hilt, not his son, or could be his grandson. Who knows nowadays?
We have no idea. This should be the last play of the first half. 7 seconds to go. Right. Flushed out of
There's
the pocket.
a fumble.
He fumbles. Antioch has it, but there's no time left on the clock, and that'll wrap up the first half of play here. Steve Sanchez, Monte Vista leads 21-14. It's pretty obvious Antioch has to limit their turnovers in the second half to win this game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dan. And, it's the first game jitters. You're going to have mistakes. I think the second half will probably be a little bit better played. Wright showed me a lot at quarterback for the Mustangs. The guy's the real deal. He's got some good wideouts. I was pretty impressed with Pate there for a while. He kind of came out on fire, was throwing the ball real well, but Antioch kind of got on a lull there for a while, and after their 14 points, kind of hit a wall. So it should be a very interesting second half.
It's Monte Vista 21, Antioch 14 at halftime. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Game.
Back at halftime at Eels Field in Antioch, the score at halftime, Monte Vista 21 and Antioch 14. And take a quick look at the halftime stats. These are unofficial, of course. Monte Vista 208 total yards, 112 running, 96 passing. The big number there is Colin Bering, 112 yards running in the first half.
Yeah, he really had some open holes and got in the secondary and did a very good job.
160 yards for Antioch, 105 running, 55 passing. Pate started hot, cooled off. He was 6 of 13 for 55, but Aaron McGee, 11 carries for 89 yards. He had the long touchdown, of course, and Maurice Tyners caught 3 passes for 40 yards for Antioch. That wraps up some of the key halftime stats as we get ready to go into the second half. Antioch will receive after kicking off to start the game, and they'll need to get on the board quick here, Steve. They've given up a couple of touchdowns. As we take a look quickly at the scoring recap here in the first half, Antioch jumped out on front with an Aaron McGee 10-yard run. The kick was good. It was 7-0 Antioch, and then Monte Vista answered Colin Bering, a 17-yard run. The extra PAT was good, 7-7. DeSaw caught the 25-yard inside screen from right, and the kick was missed. It was 13-7 Monte Vista before McGee scored on a 58 run for Antioch to put Antioch on top 14-13 after the successful PAT, and then Kelly a 55-yard interception return for a touchdown right there before the half ended, and Monte Vista went for 2 and got it. They lead 21-14.
And that was the big play right before the half. Kelly's interception kind of turned this game around a little bit. Antioch had the lead. He made a real good play, individual play, and took it on in for the score. Antioch kind of stood sitting on the ball and being content with a 1-point lead. I guess we're thinking let's go try to get a little bit more, and they threw it over the middle, and the snake kind of bit them a little bit, and they had to pay the price for it.
Well, let's take a 1-minute break right now before the teams come on the field. We'll be back to start the third quarter after this.
AT&T Broadband Game of the Week.
www.funnelhead.com.
Back to live action from Antioch High School, second half kickoff. And that's Anthony Trucks, and a good tackle by number 51 for Monte Vista, Damian Hogue, as Trucks is brought down at the 24-yard line. So Antioch, who started off with those 2 touchdowns, Steve, was shut out in the second quarter, and they're going to have to get back on track. Pate started hot and really cooled off there in the second quarter.
Yeah, he really did, Dan, and their offensive line's going to have to give him some time to throw the ball and hit his receivers. That's their strong point, Antioch, or their wideouts, and let them make some plays. And they got to get McGee back into the flow, too.
Three wide receivers near side. That's Smith, Trucks, and Tyner. McGee behind Pate. Pate to pass, a penalty on the first play, and that shouldn't be any surprise to anyone who watched the first half.
No.
Now, we had a couple talks with some of the people up here. They didn't seem to think that the pass interference stuff was as heavy as we did. But everyone saw the clip on the interception return.
Right, that's what
everyone was screaming about.
But I kind of disagreed. I thought the two pass interference plays were obvious, and that clip, after you see it on the replay, wasn't that bad.
The penalty was on Monte Vista for offsides. 1st and 5, Antioch. Pate hands off to McGee. McGee dancing inside, and he gets maybe 2. Good line play defensively from Monte Vista. You know, McGee has had a couple of big runs. He's over 100 yards, Steve, but they've been 2 really big plays, and everything else has been 2 or 3 yards.
2 or 3 yards a crack, yeah. Monte Vista's defensive front has been doing very good. Wyatt, Winger, that's their offense. Their defense, Zulius and Hogue and Spitz, they've been doing a very good job.
And your buddy, whose name you won't try to pronounce?
Budaliskin.
God.
Oh, you want me to rape it? I will.
Second down. Oh, what? That was simply called neither number 8 Mark Smith or number 12 Joey Pate being on the same page on that play.
Yeah, and lucky he didn't get that ball up a little bit more because he was off to the races. He would have had 7 more.
That was bearing with the coverage, and if he had been able to run underneath this one, Steve, he could have ran all the way out to Brendan Theaters.
And right here you see the replay right here, and just miscommunication.
3rd and 3.
Antioch's offense needs to settle down. They just kind of been out of sync ever since the second quarter.
Well, they could get a first down right now just by throwing the ball to Smith. They hand off to Beltram, though, and Beltram, who has been getting tough yards, does not get enough for a first down, and Antioch is going to be forced to punt on their first possession here of the third quarter as Monte Vista's defense stiffens and holds the Panthers.
And here it is right up the middle, and there's Beltram, and he bangs off and just got gang tackled right there by the Mustangs.
You can see Wingert was in there. He made a good play to come across and cut off Beltram. Something's on fire here in Antioch tonight, Steve, which I'm sure won't surprise many of the viewers on the other side of the hill.
Let's just hope it ain't our booth that we're in, huh?
Loma the punt, and Bering back to receive for Monte Vista. He gets out of the way, though, as Antioch gets a pretty decent bounce, and that ball rolled to the 30-yard line. That's where Monte Vista is going to take over, Steve. And let's take a look at our great sponsors here that are helping us out this year on AT&T Broadband's Game of the Week. And there they are. Rock Bottom Records, of course, is a great sponsor. New Mecca Cafe, as I start a little early, but they catch up to me. Image is a 3 hair salon. S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstylist for Men, and Action Video. All of our great sponsors. And, of course, Bill Mercado has been coming to Antioch games for years, Steve, and you've known him since you were just knee-high to a grasshopper.
He was coming here when Gino Marchetti was here.
My goodness. And he did play here.
Yes, he did.
There's been a lot of great professional players here at Antioch as Monte Vista starts. First down, Bering the handoff, and he busts ahead for about 4. Beltram again.
From the backside, Beltram brings it down.
Beltram and Tyner, and Beltram has been probably the best defensive player for Antioch. Take a look at there's Bering's stats, 112 yards. We got some nice graphics. Look at that. It almost looks like an XFL graphic.
Yeah, it does.
Remember that, remember that league?
Oh, yeah.
That lasted about as long as Antioch's preseason, that XFL stuff. But they had some good jerseys.
Yeah.
Some really nice jerseys.
You got some of them?
I got them all.
Dude.
Second, and we're going to call it 6. Right, the handoff once again. Bering busts right up the gut, and he has a first down, and the ball's on the ground. You could see leading the charge out there that time. We try to give, that's Alex Wyatt, who was out there, number 53, the center. Look at that right there. Nice hole. And Beltram again with the tackle. But
Beltram's been on some tackles, that's for sure.
Monte Vista was getting a couple of yards on their runs early in this game. They've been getting 5 to 6 yards on the runs here in the second quarter and in the early third quarter. (21-14) Monte Vista, 9:16 to go, third quarter. On the opener on AT&T Broadband, 2001, and Bering once again. And Bering and Beltram are, I don't know if Beltram's had this much fun with his girlfriend this week.
No, not at all. He's getting to know him very well.
Those two have been together. They almost are dating right now.
Yeah. And right here, you got him going out the right side. There's a missed tackle. There's Beltram dancing with him, and he gets some help, and the ball comes out late. They blew it dead, though. Seems like every other play you're calling Beltram's name. The guy's all over the place. Playing a great game.
I'm sorry, Steve, but A&B Creative Trophy in Antioch is another sponsor of high school sports here on AT&T Broadband, and you've been friends with them for a long time.
Yeah,
too.
Jackie and Gene, they do a great job right there on the corner of 6th and A for all your needs, your trophy needs, embroidery needs, and what other needs else you have.
Whatever
talk
need
to Gene.
Antioch needs to stop number 4, who's in the game for the first time, Nick Promessi on the run that time. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
Seems like Monte Vista's starting to grind the ball out a little bit up front, thinking they're winning the war in the trenches, so let's just stay here for a while. Maybe we could eat the clock, go down and score, take some time off the third quarter, and put Antioch in a hole in the fourth quarter. I think that's their strategy, and I think right now be careful for the play action fake, though, right there. The play action with Wright at quarterback could be real big right here, Dan.
Yeah, the Antioch has not had great field position either. And even if Monte Vista was to punt, they would force Antioch to have to go a long way down the field to tie this game. 3rd and 3, and Antioch's offside.
And they're going to pick up a free first down.
So definitely in the turnover and mistake game, Monte
right here
Vista's
you can see
winning.
him calling 79 on the right left side. He's I think he was anticipating pass.
And anticipating hut and not hut.
Yeah.
So first down for Monte Vista inside Antioch territory at the 47-yard line. 7:32 to go, third quarter, and Antioch trailing 21-14 here on our first game on AT&T Broadband. Can't wait to bring you all 11. And that time, Promessi is brought down by Trucks,
and
also DiMaggio was in there who got the feet out.
Yep. Real nice play by DiMaggio.
So
he's
Steve,
having a good game also.
Steve, we mentioned next week we'll have College Park at Las Lomas, and we'll be showing you replays just like this one
There's
next week.
DiMaggio cutting him down at the ankle.
College Park runs a option offense, which we haven't seen a lot out here.
But we're going to see a lot of it next week.
Every time they have the ball, there's the next week graphic. College Park in Las Lomas, right here at 7 p.m. next Saturday and Sunday. AT&T Broadband. Check your local listings for the channel that brings you your community access programming here in Contra Costa County. Right to pass. Right is the ball was almost
coming loose.
Yeah, that was Trucks who
Alves
came in.
and Trucks, both of them got there about the same time.
Trucks nearly got the ball out of Wright's hands. It'll be a loss on the play of 3 yards. It's 3rd and 13. Antioch really could use another one of those if they're going to get any kind of field position out of this, Steve, because they've started a lot of their drives down in the 20, the 24. People don't realize that's not great field position in high school.
No, it's really not.
Because De La Salle, usually they start about the 6.
Yeah.
The other team 6.
Right.
And then it's a touchdown on the next play. And they'll be at Buchanan, where Pittsburgh lost by 1, and they're there tomorrow night. We'll see De La Salle in October here on AT&T Broadband. Third down, right, quick hit to Dessaw, and Dessaw falls ahead. He's going to be short by about 3. This is going to be a big call from Coach Bergman from Monte Vista. Take a look at this one. This is just a quick hitter.
Quick hits right here, right over the middle. Dessaw right over the middle, and it makes the coach is going to have to come up with, see if they picked up the flag, but I think the coach is going to punt and try to put him in a hole.
DeMont Anderson with the tackle for Antioch. So 4th and 3, the ball at the 41-yard line. Actually, it's a little closer to 4th and 4. And Wright will kick away to Smith and Trucks. And this will be interesting to see what they do here, Steve. If he's going to just strictly kick the ball straight out of bounds about the 20 and say, hey, go 80 yards, or are they going to finally let one of these big horses out of the stable?
Just kick it high and hope they fumble it.
Well, Smith wanted to run, but he got hit immediately.
And I mean immediately.
Immediately. And Antioch is going to be forced to go 90 yards to try to tie this game. 4:58 to go, third quarter. Mustangs 21, Panthers 14. And we'll tell you about another great sponsor. Image is a 3 hair salon. Now, you've seen my hair, right, Steve?
Well, check this out.
That's
Sam
who
did
does
mine.
my hair. So that's, you know, if you ever see us and go, wow, I'd like to have a cut like that, go straight down to Images of 3 Hair Salon down there on A Street in Antioch, and they'll take care of you. And plus, they know everything that's ever happened in the city of Antioch.
Of all time.
Ever. If it happened in Antioch, they know about it. They're probably here tonight somewhere. First down, Pate to throw. Pate throws, and what is happening? You know, Steve, this is for all of you that were wondering what we were talking about in the first quarter. This is how Antioch looked in their scrimmage last week.
Yeah, it seems like right now the receivers and Pate are kind of they're on different pages right now. He went for the post and he threw the slant. And they weren't there. They almost gave up a quick touchdown right there. Carpenter almost picked it and went on in.
Yeah, they have not been on the same page here in the third quarter. I don't think Monte Vista's thought that their defense was going to be able to give Antioch the problems that they're giving them here. But this is an example of what happens when you have a small quarterback, Steve. You've got to be able to get the ball out there, and he's got to be precise with those throws. Second down, Pate again. Pate gets hammered. That cannot be a fumble because his arm was coming forward. Pate is hammered by number 54, Joe Wingert.
And here he comes from the blind side, Dan, and this always hurts. The blind side right there, oh boy. Yeah. That hurts.
But Pate got right up.
He got up.
3rd and 10. But Antioch is really, after that impressive first quarter, has not been able to do anything in the second or third quarters. Luckily for Antioch, they're just down by 7 here, 21-14. Clock stop with 4:49 to go, third quarter.
There's a shot of Coach Bergman on the sidelines. Run up and down. Give his instructions to his defense. Right now he knows he got him in a hole. This is a big play.
Here's Pate to throw. Pate goes up the sideline to Smith, and Smith has the ball. Oh, and if Smith could have just got away, and he does, and Smith's still on his feet. Smith down the sideline. Smith jukes another player. Smith's on his feet. What a spectacular play by Mark Smith.
Big play.
You know, Steve, there's going to be a lot of guys who say, why don't you just throw the ball up there to those two big guys and let them catch the ball like that?
Yeah. Let's watch the replay, Dan. And right here, it's just like a quick out towards the sidelines, up the sidelines. I'm sorry, it was
Is over Carpenter.
over Carpenter. Right here, he gets away.
He goes by Ornelas.
Yep.
Here comes Kirkpatrick. There's Kelly. There's another Kelly.
Couple Kellys. Couple Kellys chasing him.
You know, one thing I love replays, though, because you can actually figure out what really happened.
What happened,
because it's hard to do it when you're watching it. You're trying to figure out what's going on with the play.
And that was a good throw by Pate. One of the better ones he's had in the last few series.
64-yard pass completion. McGee on first down. Maybe one. A host of Mustangs, 54. Wingert, one of the Kellys is in there. I think both the Kellys are. They're at their dinner table together. They probably ride to school together. They made a few tackles
together.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because they are brothers.
And I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kelly are very proud of him.
I bet they are. And then, as well, they should be.
They should be.
That was a spectacular play. Have you ever seen a guy just drag a guy boink, boink, boink like that? You missed some soundbite opportunities.
Last time I seen a guy dragging that, a cop was chasing me, and I was trying to get away from him.
Sergeant McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
Second down, Pate to throw. And, he
there
did
it
it
is.
again. DeSaw, he could run all the way back to Monte Vista and up Mount Diablo right now, Steve.
Yep.
To the 10, the 5, touchdown Monte Vista, and a penalty late. A penalty down here. I don't know what it's on.
I think we might get a clip.
Unbelievable, though. Antioch in great position to score after that 64-yard pass to Smith, and Pate throws one right to DeSaw, who was in at corner, and DeSaw goes 80 yards for a touchdown. That's the second interception return for a touchdown tonight for Monte Vista.
That was a backbreaker right there, Dan. Antioch was going in to tie this game up, and Antioch's had two big interceptions returned for touchdowns. That's really been the backbreaker of this game right now. It's been the story of this game.
You know, Steve, I just have to question why we keep throwing the ball, and I don't say that as in we, us, because we're neutral out here.
Right.
Why does Antioch keep throwing the ball to the sideline like that when they're doing the fades, they're doing the stuff, the quick hits and the slants are working, but when they're doing that stuff, it isn't working.
Yeah.
And why do they keep going to it? I don't know. The penalty flag must have been picked up or it was declined because it was on Antioch, and
I think they called unsportsmanlike on Monte Vista.
Conti with the kick. It's good. So in this game, Steve, there has been a fumble on a kickoff, and one play later, Desaw, a 24-yard pass for a touchdown, and then Kelly, a 55-yard interception return, Desaw, an 80-yard interception return, and Antioch's just killing themselves.
Yeah, they really are. They're shooting themselves in the foot, and that was a big one right there. The last two have been big ones. One was right before half with Kelly that kind of gave the momentum to Monte Vista, and that play right there, Antioch was coming down to answer that call, and they got reverse charges on it, and they got sent back to their face, and it cost them big time. They did that one out, and I agree with you, Dan. They should have just stick with what was working, and that's not working. That little down and out right there is not working for them, and they need to go to something else.
Can you imagine if he had just hitched real quick, just a quick fake, boom. He could have just thrown the ball in the air. It would have been a touchdown.
Right.
Because Desaw was cheating so much on that play.
And he really read it early, and he cheated on it early, and he read right. You got to give credit to Desaw. Great play.
Steve Kuchek is back deep with trucks. And who knows if Monte Vista will even kick this ball, Steve.
Yeah.
They've onside kicked twice, too. So you're seeing almost like some Canadian football out of this Monte Vista team. And since they have the same logo as the Calgary Stampeders, it's not a big surprise. But Swan kicks this one. It'll be Trucks at the 5-yard line. Anthony Trucks up the left side. Trucks still on his feet. Trucks still on his feet. Anthony Trucks needed to break one more tackle. He's brought down finally at the 33-yard line.
Real nice return. Well, Antioch's got their hands full now, Dan. Now they're going to have to, I really feel to get back in this game, they're going to have to answer this with this possession right here.
It looked like Banta was in on the tackle, number 9, but here's a replay of that kickoff, Steve.
And you can see right here, Trucks gets it. He's got a good head of steam. He's going down the right side. And Kelly's in on it, and there goes Carpenter, and there's another miss, and right there he's down. They blew the whistle, but nice return.
So Antioch trailing by 2 touchdowns with 3:33 to go here in the third quarter. All threes on the board right now. Pate to throw. Pate up the sideline. And this is the play we've been talking about, and it's working, and I think they finally called pass interference as well, as that time he got tight end Frank Rowe, who was split wide, Steve, and this is going to be a game of about 25 yards.
Real nice throw by Pate, and they need to stick with what's working, and that's working right there. Just go straight upfield and let it go.
Well, those are very hard balls to intercept. Conversely, when you throw the ball into the flat, it's a very easy ball to intercept. They're calling a penalty on Antioch? That can't be a penalty on Antioch.
Here's a replay right here, Dan. I don't know what they're doing on the field right here. But here's Pate back in the pocket, getting a little pressure. Nice reach out by Roll, and I don't know what they're discussing right now, but there was a flag on the play. They called pass interference, but Antioch refused the penalty.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but there was no way. Because
He looks cute in them shorts, don't he?
Oh, very.
And there's a small guy. There's a guy you want to take out for breakfast.
No, you don't.
Huh?
Because max out your credit card. No.
If they give me the silver platter.
Any breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know that breakfast at Denny's they have? What's that thing called?
The Grand Slam?
That's Ferris's breakfast.
Give me 4 Grand Slams.
I wonder if Barry hit a grand slam tonight.
I don't know how Barry did. I heard his first at bat. They walked him.
Well, it's
They pitched around
9:25, so
they always have trouble in Colorado, though, for some reason.
Although at 9:25 in Colorado, it could be in like the 4th inning.
Yeah,
the way those games go. Well, I think they finally got this one figured out, Steve. And then are they going to finally drag the flags? Okay, they dragged the yard markers ahead. The sticks are now in place. The ball's at the 41-yard line. Antioch a first down, 3:26 to go, trailing 28-14 here on the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Little option and a pitch to Peacock. Peacock up the right sideline, knocked out of bounds. And there's another penalty and another penalty. And
that'd be against Antioch, late hit out of bounds.
Actually, it looked like Zilius came over and hit Peacock way after he was out of bounds.
You're going to have number 75 from Antioch, Dan, hitting late. Let's see if we can't see it right here, Dan, late. There he goes out of bounds. There's 58. Here comes, well, it was 58, but I don't know. On replay, it don't look that bad.
There, it's on Antioch.
Oh, yeah, I knew they called it on Antioch. I just didn't.
Antioch doesn't even know it's on. You know, that's a. How can it work? Is that now? Is that a 15-yard penalty? Because the ball's 18 yards back.
Yeah.
I guess it goes
it's from the point of where it
spot,
happened.
but I thought he was a lot closer to the line of scrimmage than that. So I don't know, Steve. First game, you know, we're already on the officials in the third quarter, but sorry. Here's Pate to throw. Pate has Trucks. Trucks drops another one. I think Trucks had that one, although Carpenter's been.
Carpenter had his hands in there too. I think you got to give a little credit to Carpenter. He played that defensively pretty good. Right here, Dan. It's in the air right here. And watch Trucks. He gets it, and Carpenter, the last minute, puts his hand in there and has a real good defensive play on it. Good job by Carpenter.
Yeah, he's had good coverage on Trucks. And that's what teams are going to have to do to beat Antioch. They're going to have to shut those two guys down. Antioch's had some big plays tonight, but not enough because they've had 3 big turnovers. When Antioch watches the film of this one, there's going to be a lot of moaning and probably regurgitation on the hands of many players. Pate out of the pocket, and Pate, he gets nailed by number 40, Scott Kelly, on second down. And this will bring up, Steve, would you like to throw a location out at the viewers right now? Because it's 3rd and...
You're going to put the pressure on me off the
get-go?
get-go?
Pressure on you on the first game here. This is 3rd and...
Johnny's Market.
For those of you that have never been to Antioch, a great location down by the Stam Theater. Get your linguiça at Johnny's Market.
Tri-tip sandwiches on Friday.
Is that what you have every Friday for lunch down there at Johnny's Market?
No, I go for prime rib at... what's the restaurant right over here, Dan?
I'll have to think of it after this play. 3rd and a whole lot.
In the Bonfair
Pate
Market.
up the sideline. Oh, the matchmaker.
Matchmaker. Prime
okay.
rib.
There you go.
Every Friday and Saturday night, $10.95.
Beautiful. And Smith, that pass is overthrown, intended for Smith. Coverage once again from Carpenter. Desaw was back there. So Antioch will be forced to into a punting situation, it looks like, unless now there's a penalty down there. And now the Monte Vista coaching staff is coming unglued.
Antioch might catch a break here.
Well, I noticed that the Antioch punting team wasn't running on the field, so there is a penalty on Monte Vista, and it's going to be a first down for Antioch.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be 4th. I think they're going to be short. No, they're moving the chains. No, it's...
Well, it's 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
Look at the sticks are like 6 yards apart.
I don't understand these guys.
It's 3rd and 10. I guess it was a 15-yard penalty, and who knows. Oh, and Peacock, if he can get outside, has yardage. Peacock still on his feet. Peacock, a great run, and Peacock near first down yardage at the 27-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 2, Steve.
Yeah, we do a replay on this. Let's check out Peacock. Here's a good run from him. And you called it, Dan. He had to get to the outside. There's a nice block by Norris up the front, and right there he just carries for a couple, and Norris did a real good job of opening up the hole for him out there, or getting him to the outside.
Peacock with 20 yards. Now it's 2nd down, Steve. It must have been first down on that last play.
I'm all messed
up.
It
was 3rd and they had like 6 yards, and they stretched the chains out, and it said 3rd down, and now it's 2nd down and 7. So we're just going to go with that. It's actually 2nd and 3 from the 27. Antioch trying to drive, trying to get within 7. And this time Peacock is hammered after a short gain. Number 54 in there is Wingert once again. Also another one of those big players in there, number 66, Grant Anderson. While we have an opportunity, Steve, we want to show you our schedule. Look at this schedule. Next week, College Park at Los Lomas. We talked about the first half. The second half, we get to see Acalanes for the first time ever. And then Antioch at Ignacio at DVC, Clayton at Antioch here, Miramani at Los Lomas. That final weekend is huge. And Antioch and Pittsburgh for the 83rd time from Pittsburgh High School. Could be for the BVL title.
Yep.
3rd and 2, 141 to go, third quarter. Handoff to... That's Beltram, and Beltram running with great determination up to the 20-yard line. It'll be a first down, and I think Antioch would really like to get in here before the 4th quarter. They'd be down a touchdown and still have a chance in this game.
They'd still have a chance. He'd be right back in it. And besides all the mistakes they've made, they would kind of go, hey, you know what, we're in this game. You know, we're lucky to be in this game, but they need to answer. You're absolutely right, Dan. I think with 1:30 to go, they'd like to punch it in here before the 4th quarter starts.
And they're playing here at home in front of a pretty decent crowd on opening night.
Antioch Youth Football League night tonight.
And a bunch of kids running the bases on the baseball field right over the other sideline over there. Beltram bangs ahead for 3, and whenever you call Beltram's name, you say bangs ahead because he doesn't run away from anyone.
No, he wants to hit somebody, and that's what he does.
A minute to go.
I know his dad. He was hit a lot as a child, and he wants to get somebody back.
What's his dad's name?
Richie.
Richie so same, Richie Beltram.
Mm-hmm.
Richie Beltram, okay. I knew some Beltrams, but I don't know if it's the same ones.
Yeah.
Gain of 2 on that play, 2nd and 8. The ball inside the Monte Vista 20-yard line. Pate, play action, rolling. Pate has Trucks, and he overthrows Trucks. He had Trucks wide open in the middle of the field. Would have been a touchdown. And that's where you get that, not only a rolling kind of pocket. Steve, that's why I always like that rolling stuff. If your quarterback can do it, because it opens up the field.
Let's watch the replay, Dan. Right here, you fake action here, and right here you got a couple options. He could have actually ran that right there. He had a lot of room in front of him, but he put the ball in the air and he just missed his man. But at least you have an option. That's what I like about the option. You get to the outside, you can run it or you can throw it. And for a guy 5'9", that's got to help you a little bit to get on the run and open up the field a little bit for you. And you don't got those big guys coming at you. So that's a play I like also.
That's what Doug Flutie always used to do, and he still does. 3rd and 8. 5-man front for Monte Vista. Pate to throw. Pate, a little stop and comeback. And they rule it incomplete, as that time, that was a planned play where Trucks was going to come back, Steve, to the ball, and he did not get his arms around it. Here's a replay.
Let's watch the replay right here. And Pate underthrew him just a little bit. You can see right here he's got to come back for the ball, and then right here he just he traps it, and it was a good call.
29 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
By the lady ref.
Oh, the lady ref, Bonnie Zuka.
Bonnie Zuka.
Isn't there a wrestler once, Yoko? Oh, that was Yokozuna.
That was Yoko Ono.
No, that's who broke up the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
4th down.
I'd like to get my hands on her.
Pate to throw. Pate rolling. Pate looking. Pate fires. He's got. I'm waiting for the call. Yes, that's a good. It's a 1st down for Antioch inside the 10-yard line. Mark Smith, the reception. Steve, that took longer than the Florida election results to come in.
Yes, it really did, and it was a slow developing play. And here's a replay right here, and you can see Pate right here. He rolls out again like we talked about. He points and says, go there, I'll throw it to you, and he does, and he picks up the 1st down.
In front of Carpenter with 16 seconds to go, the clock running, so Antioch might not get in. But even if Antioch scores early in the 4th quarter, they'll have to
got a lot
stop
of time.
Monte Vista to come back and try to tie this one up.
And they got to stop hurting themselves with turnovers.
Antioch has too many players on the field, and the clock runs out, and time runs out here in the 3rd quarter. So, Steve, Monte Vista once again has scored on 2 interception returns. It was 14-13 Antioch in the 2nd quarter. It's 28-14 Monte Vista now, and we'll be back for the exciting conclusion of this game after this.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love seat chairs.
Funnelhead.com.
I don't know who looks more impressive in that commercial, Matt Bolander or the oil can.
That looks like Metal Matt, don't it?
Well, it's Metal Matt and some sort of Metal Matt. And by the way, if you're looking for CC Rock tonight, it'll be on right after the conclusion of this game. Matt interviewed Great White.
Is that right?
Have you ever heard of Great White?
Great White?
Yes, it's a rock band, not a shark.
No, never.
In Florida, it would be a shark, but in the world of California music, Great White is a great blues-based hard rock band. He interviewed them at the Bone Bash #2, and they will be the subject of this month's CC Rock, as Tube Radio has went off the air for this season. We had a great time doing it this summer, Ron Carter and myself and a lot of special guests, as we get ready for the 4th quarter. That looked like Steve Sanchez's hallucinations at Winterland back in the 70s.
We don't want to talk about that, Billy.
No, but
jeez,
that's how it looked. And Beltram, that time with the gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as we get started in the 4th quarter. Monte Vista leads 28-14 on the AT&T Broadband High School Football Game of the Week.
Damian Hogue on that tackle right there, and Damian, he's played a real good game so far. He's put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he's plugged a lot of holes.
They could call him the plumber.
That's right.
Damian Hogue sounds like a defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres.
That's right. And you would know. You've seen enough of them games.
Absolutely. And Antioch now looks confused as they're forced to burn a timeout here. So, Steve, with 11:18 to go, let's talk a little bit more about our great sponsors here, people that are helping us out this week. As you see them there, Rock Bottom Records, Rick Armstrong over on A Street in Antioch. And, of course, there's a lot of big releases coming out next week, Steve. Now, let's see if you know any of these bands.
Okay, I know them all.
Tesla?
Never heard of them.
Okay. Okay, Tesla's a good rock and roll band. They have a big live album. Now, here's a band you know, Leonard Skinner.
Now, I know Leonard.
Okay, Leonard Skinner's doing some stuff, and also another Nickelback has a great album coming out next week. New Mecca Cafe, Images of 3 Hair Salon. Do you have something to say about Images of 3 Hair Salon?
Hi, Sam.
Okay, S&S Import Service, of course. Golf and Games,
Max
Concord
Bridges.
Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, and the Pantel's over there who they love the Allman Brothers. Pantel's Music Box. A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstylist for Men, and I'm sure Bill's sitting right over here to our left.
Oh, he is.
And, of course, Action Video. And getting back to Rock Bottom real quick, Steve, I mentioned Nickelback, I mentioned Leonard Skinner and Tesla. Dream Theater has a new album coming out, but there's a new System of a Down album. There's all kinds of good stuff coming out over there. There's albums coming out in the next couple of months from Incubus and Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne, and it's just a good place to go and pick up your music.
Yeah, it really is, and Rick does a good job there. But nobody turned around Tube Radio like I did the other night, baby.
Oh, you
I had
made
the classic rock.
You made your debut. 2nd down, Antioch trying to get in here, trying to pull within 7. Oh, a nice pass. It's Rowe, touchdown. And Antioch finally solves the Monte Vista defense. That time a 9-yard pass to Rowe, and with the conversion, Antioch could pull within 28-21, still 11-12 to play.
They're right back in it, Dan, and it's a new ball game, and as many times as they shot themselves in the foot, they got to feel good about themselves. Monte Vista's played a great game also. So this is a good one right now, and I knew in the 4th quarter it was going to be a good one. Antioch's just stubbed their toe along the way a couple times, and Monte Vista's taking advantage. And it should be a real good, we got 11-12 left in this one, Dan. It should be a good one. You know, Wright hasn't thrown the ball hardly at all in the second half, so I look for him now that the pressure's back on for them to start airing it out a little bit more.
There's the kick. It's up, and they missed it.
That hurts.
Oh, man. Pate misses the PAT. So it's 28-20. And, Steve, what will happen now, of course, is if Antioch will have to go for 2 if they can score here. So Rowe, the 9-yard reception on the pass from Pate, and Antioch pulls within 8 with 11-12 to go, 4th quarter. And one of our great sponsors, Action Video, a new sponsor here on AT&T Broadband this year in Walnut Creek, Steve. But we don't get to talk about the sponsors like Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria. Great pizza over there in Walnut Creek. And the Brendan Theaters, of course, a big movie coming out that started tonight, Rockstar, with Mark Wahlberg. Yes. It's not, has nothing to do with your life.
Damn it. I could have been a rock star.
If they ever make a movie about you, it'll be something like Colored Guy / Goofy UPS Driver.
That's me.
Okay. Paramount Technology, the Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and, of course, those wonderful commercials that Matt Boland. Now we know what Matt does when he's not doing CC Rock.
That's right.
Yeah. I wonder who's the oil can.
I don't know.
That's my thing. I need to know who's behind that.
That's obviously his big break, whoever it was.
Cornelius to kick for Antioch. DeSaw and Bering back deep for Monte Vista. 28-20, a good game out here. We thought this would be a good game.
Yeah, we knew going in that the offenses were going to move the ball, that their skilled players on both sides of the ball were good, and it's lived up to its billing.
Antioch needs a big stop here as Cornelius kicks. It's a short kick to Bering at the 18-yard line. Bering right up the middle behind a Kelly, and I say that because there's 2 Kellys.
Yeah.
And Bering brought down at the 31-yard line. Number 80 in on that tackle is Joe Duran, and also number 30, Raymond Peacock for the Panthers. Monte Vista takes over at the 31-yard line. 10:55 to go, clock running in the 4th quarter. Antioch, of course, plays at Granada next week. Do we have Monte Vista's schedule, Steve? Did you go that far into research? Okay, thank you. I hate to say it, folks, but this is the only time, unless we do some sort of playoff game, that we'll see Monte Vista this year. And we wanted to make sure that we got that side of the 680 corridor covered. So Monte Vista, I'm sure, will be in some sort of preseason mode for the next couple of weeks before heading off into that tough EBA-AL schedule. Right to throw on first down, into the left flat to Desaw. Desaw dancing alongside the left sideline over there. Excuse me, that's the right sideline. If I knew what I was talking about, I'd be dangerous, wouldn't I?
Well, that's true, but you do a good job. Joey Loma just missed him. Joey Loma went for the knockout blow on the sidelines and missed it, but he picked up about 4 more yards, and we got a player down.
That must have been Carpenter, because it looks like Desaw's injured. I'll tell you what, Steve, not that Monte Vista's numbers are anything close to being as bad as Deer Valley's are when you can't see them.
Right.
But the 6 and the 8 drawn up real tight kind of look the same.
Yeah, that's a 6, though. That's Desaw.
So Desaw's hurt. That was Carpenter with the reception. It was an 8-yard reception and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 2, and Desaw with a cramp. And
Deshaw's limping off. And here's your replay, Dan, right here. And you'll watch Loma go for the kill over here, number 24. And he just misses him. And then he picks up about 5 more yards after that. So
yeah, Desaw was split near side, and he was the one who ran off the field.
There's the Anthony brothers, Ferris and Al. Al's special coach, and Ferris the head coach. And
special teams coach.
Special teams.
He's
That's
not
why I
just
say special coach.
Special coach, like he's special.
He ain't that special.
2nd and 2.
Not until he takes me out to lunch.
Oh, nice counter handoff to Bering, and Beltram belted him.
Him and Bering are going to be joined at the hip when they leave. When they leave this, they'll probably go out as Siamese twins.
They'll have to have a doctor come out and separate them.
You guys are just stuck together.
That's a big play, though, for Beltram. There's still 10 minutes and 23 seconds to go in this game, and Antioch needs a stop here.
Big
on
third
third
down.
And 3.
Big third down right here.
They need to stop him here. They'll get the ball back in fairly decent field position with plenty of time on the clock and 2 timeouts.
Look for a quick out by Kelly, or a little rollout with some action with Kelly right now, Dan.
That's Carpenter in motion. Right to throw. Antioch brings the entire line, and they do. They throw Carpenter underneath. That's that 49er play, Steve.
Yep.
All that is the wide out goes down about 10, and your motion guy cuts in front of him at about 4, and there's the quick out. Watch this right here.
He goes in motion right there and Wright's back in the pocket and just hits him right there on the flat and picks up about Loma, knocks him out of bounds, but it's too late. Picked up the first down, moved the chains. Mustangs are on the move again.
I'm convinced, Steve, that you could probably make that pass work 99% of the time.
Yeah, I'd go, let's do that again. Let's do that again.
You could just
let's
do that
again.
You could do that all night. That's the old Jerry Rice in motion play for the touchdown. First down, ball at the 43-yard line, and there's Carpenter in motion again. And there's Wright with a handoff to Bering, and Bering has yardage, but then he stopped after a gain of about 4. Redmond was in on that tackle for Antioch. Also number 22, DeMont Anderson for the Panthers. And Steve, Antioch is not in dire straits yet, but they're going to have to stop Monte Vista here.
Yeah, they really are. It's 9:40 and counting, and Monte Vista's moving the ball right now a little bit. This is a big series right here.
And I'm just curious, Steve, as to what is Antioch thinking? They had to be thinking that they were not going to have to worry about this Bering guy as much as they're worrying about him right now. I think they thought they were going to have to worry about Wright a lot more.
Yeah, and Deshaun and Carpenter and Bering's really been the key to their offense. He's chewed up a lot of yards on the ground.
Same exact formation, Carpenter in motion. This time they come back to the left side to Bering. Bering has a first down. Bering to the 35-yard line. Hilton and Mark Smith on the tackle, but a penalty flag on the play back near the line of scrimmage. And
this could be a big play here. Oh, they got a hold against Monte Vista. Wow, that's a big play. Here's your replay. They run off the left side right here, Dan, and they open the hole. Owls gets creamed, and right there, number 4 gets knocked on his back. Beautiful block. I don't know where the hold came at, but that was a great play, and it's really too bad for Monte Vista that it has to come back, because now you're looking at about 2nd and 20 almost, Dan. So big momentum breaker right there.
It is about 2nd and 19. 8:58 to go in the ball game. Monte Vista leads 28-20 tonight on AT&T Broadband's Game of the Week. The only high school football game in town. That should be our motto.
It should be. And you're stuck with us. How's that, pal?
Yeah, that's it. You're stuck with us. It's us or cops.
If our ship goes down, you're dead.
It's over. Right, quick throw to Swan. Oh, that was a dangerous play.
Really was. The ball was in the air for a while there, and it was live, and that could have been picked off, but good defensive play by Antioch. Third down play.
Tyner on the defense there, and as that ball came out and the receiver was still kind of moving, it kind of kicked up in the air. And if one of the Antioch guys had gotten there any sooner, Steve, we could have had an interception, be looking at a tie ball game right now.
Here's your replay right here, Dan. And right here, watch how the ball gets hit up in the air right here. And right there, Beltram went for the kill, though. That's him, though. He's going to take your head off. He don't care about no interceptions.
He don't want to touch.
He don't want no stinking
interceptions. He wants your helmet on
right.
on a stick. 3rd and 19. Antioch needs a stop here with 8:33 to go. Long count once again for Wright. And too much time.
And Wright's kind of upset right now.
You know, in this point, Steve, this is going to be one of the telling plays of the game right now. Because if Monte Vista gambles and A wins, then Antioch's going to look back and say, not only did we turn the ball over 3 times, but we sure blew it on that one third and 24. I don't know why this is a replay of what you shouldn't do when you don't have enough time. It almost looked like he got behind the wrong guy.
He did.
That's
what he did. He got behind the guard and said, wait a minute, I better get behind the guy with the ball.
That's Craig Bergman, the head coach of Monte Vista. Used to be an assistant coach at San Jose State. Here's Wright rolling, and another hold. And Antioch, and I think Antioch's going to decline this because Beltram and Redmond just read the riot act at the 27-yard line. There's going to be a hold. I think one of the linemen held DiMaggio.
They held DiMaggio.
And Antioch's going to get the ball back, Steve, and I think we're going to have ourselves a ball game.
Yeah.
You can see it right here.
Number 66.
Right there.
Right there. There's the hold. He gets brought down from behind. There's the flag. And watch Beltram come in here and say, you know what, I've just been hitting everybody all night. I might as well hit you too.
Beltram. You know, I have a feeling that Beltram and Albert Toena from Pittsburgh are going to have a nice little time when they play.
Oh, that's going to be a good match.
He's 6'5", 340. I don't think Beltram's that big, but I don't think Beltram's afraid of anyone either.
Oh, Beltram, you kidding? He'd fight King Kong.
Have you seen Toena lately? And Mario Duenas and Danny Buccellato. What a line those guys make up. And the Pittsburgh Pirates
Pittsburgh
tonight,
strength this year is their line.
Behind Simonton, running behind them, and they're down at James Logan tonight. Another great game here on the opening weekend. But Pittsburgh, of course, has already played a game, and they lost 31-30 to Buchanan. Here's the kick, right the punt, and it bounces down to, and Smith's going to have to let it roll. That would have been a dangerous one to try to pick up. But Antioch got pretty decent field position, the ball at the 33-yard line. 7:51 to go, Steve Sanchez. Antioch needs to go down. They need to score. They need to get a 2-point conversion, and then they need to hold them, and then they need to get another score if they're going to win.
That's a lot of needs, Dan, all at once, I tell you. I think they need a first down right now. They need to start moving the chains, take it one first down at a time. There's plenty of time left on the clock. This is a pretty big series right here. You could call it the biggest one of the game, but the next time they get the ball, it's going to be the biggest one of the game.
Monte Vista,
so they're all big from here on in.
Monte Vista's still in the catbird seat, but they don't want the momentum to roll over to Antioch. And here they throw that play again, Steve, and they call it incomplete to Trucks. I'm telling you, though, that play just scares me. You know, that every time the Monte Vista DBs are reading it. Let's take a look once again at next week. College Park at Los Lomas. You'll see that next Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. right here on AT&T Broadband throughout Contra Costa County this year.
Look at that, Dan. That just looks strange. There's no BVAL team there, and we're doing it.
Well, we've done College Park before.
That's true. We have.
We've done a few College Park games because they used to play in the old Diablo Valley Athletic League.
I'm looking for Coppolindo. I'm looking towards Acalanes and Los Lomos and Barramani. I'm looking towards those games.
Here's Pate to pass on second down. Pate over the middle has Smith. Smith has a first down at the 49-yard line, tackled by Ornelas. And Antioch in business with 7:40 to go. And that, you know, when Pate has time, he's got a nice throw,
He really does. He throws the ball fine for a small, for being 5'9". We keep harping on that. But here it is on the replay. And as you can see right here, Dan, what he's doing more, he's stepping up in the pocket, and he's flushing himself out a little bit and puts a nice throw on the ball and hits him right in the numbers. Real good play. The first and fourth quarter for Pate have been good. The second and third, he's been a little shaky. So he's starting to get his feet underneath him right now and having a little more confidence.
First down,
here's
up
a
the
good
sidelines to Trucks. Trucks has it! What a catch! Oh, my goodness! Anthony Trucks right up the back of Carpenter at the 17-yard line, and Trucks he's either out of breath or has a cramp or something down there. Let's get another look at this one, Steve. What a spectacular play.
Really a nice throw here, Joey. He goes back about a 5-step drop, puts it up in the air, and watch it. He reads it and just pulls it off his helmet. Beautiful catch right there.
Trucks well, they list him at 6'2". If he's 6'2", I'm 6'7".
Yeah, and Matt Carpenter did a real good job. He was all over him. It's just one of them things where he came up with it.
I think Trucks is closer to 6'4", about 195, and he can run like a jackrabbit. First down, Antioch at the 17, trying to tie this one up. Oh, it's a draw play to McGee. McGee still on his feet. McGee inside the 10. McGee down to the 7-yard line, close to a first down. Antioch really knocking on the door here, Steve, and we could really have an exciting finish here tonight.
Well, Dan, that's the second time they've done that play. The first time they did that play, it went for about 50-yard touchdown run with McGee, and that time he picked up some valuable yardage down in the red zone, and a real good play. Watch this right here. He has the ball, makes a nice cut, makes another nice cut, and gets on down to about the 7-yard line. Antioch's knocking on the door.
Hogue was in on that play, and I think number 55 as well. Spitz was in on that tackle. And I don't know if Antioch has called a timeout here or Monte Vista's called a timeout. I think Antioch might have called a timeout. Nope, they're rolling the clock right now. 6:42 to go, clock running, fourth quarter, 28-20 Monte Vista. Great game here, opening up our schedule on AT&T Broadband. We'll be happy to bring you all the games. And, of course, Steve, we're going to have basketball, and we're going to have baseball, and we're going to have pro wrestling and tube radio, and, you know.
It's going to be crazy.
It always is. Pate looking into the end zone. He fires.
Touchdown,
Antioch! Touchdown.
Who is it?
I think it's Mark Smith. It is Mark Smith.
It is Mark Smith.
Mark Smith on a 7-yard touchdown throw from Joey Pate. 6:19 to go. 28-26.
And
what a game.
They're going to go for two, Dan.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
So Smith a 7-yard. Here's a replay.
Here's a replay right here, and there's the touchdown right there. Quick little down and out right there in front of the goal line. And I really like that call on offense, Dan. They stayed away from running the ball into the tackles. They opened it up a little bit, even that close to the goal line, and they got the results.
And Pate, as you mentioned, Steve, hot in the first and fourth quarters, missing in the second and third quarters. Now, the good thing about this, Steve, is Antioch still has enough time. Even if they miss this, it'll be an interesting call here on the two-point conversion. Antioch needs the two to tie. Pate, they're going to throw a fade to Trucks. Trucks pushes off, goes up and makes the catch, and Antioch has tied the game, and the Monte Vista coaching staff, rightfully so, is irate because Trucks pushed off on that play.
He pushed off big time.
Maybe that's a makeup call for that clip. Let's see if we can see it.
Right here, he just throws a fade, and right, you can see the push off right there with the right hand. Pushes off, and what a great catch, but he did push off, and Coach Bergman's going, Bonnie, I want to talk to you. Come here, Bonnie. Come here, sweetheart.
Something, though. You know what? They've missed a couple of interference calls. They let that one go. I would rather see them let stuff like that go. Because when you start calling that ticky-tack stuff, I think it ruins the game. Think of all the great plays in this game tonight that we wouldn't have had if they had called some of that ticky-tack stuff.
That's true.
So, you know what? Right now, Steve, it's even. It's 28-28. We got 6:19 to go, and a fantastic ball game here on AT&T Broadband.
You know, Dan, the thing about that is, I agree 100% with what you're saying there, but that, to me, was an obvious push-off on a big two-point conversion to tie the game. If I'm the other coach, I'm livid.
I'd be on fire.
I'd be on fire because you can see it a mile away. You called it from up here, and how many yards away are we? We can see that live, and you know they've seen it. So I understand your point.
I think that we should make football like wrestling, like those cage matches. No rules. No refs.
Okay, that would be fun.
The last team standing wins.
That's what's going to happen tonight, it looks like.
Cornelius the kick. That's a good kick this time from Cornelius. Bearing back to his 5-yard line. Here comes Bearing, a very important kickoff return. He's still on his feet. Bearing up the sideline. Bearing is still on his feet. Bearing dancing down the sideline. Bearing's on his feet. I can't believe this. 95 yards.
No, they're calling
What the heck is going on? There's people laying on the field. They're calling it back. Steve Sanchez, I'm going to have a heart attack.
I swear they're going to call him out of bounds on the sidelines, I think, Dan.
Oh, my goodness. There's people laying on the Monte Vista bench.
Here's the replay right here, Dan. Let's watch it. Here's Bearing going up the right side. Gets behind a wedge, gets a nice block, hits to the outside, and right here it's a foot race. I think he stepped out right there. That's what they're calling back. But what a beautiful run by him.
My goodness. We have had a season's full of highlights in this first week. And that was a great one to call. Anyway, Bering, a 43-yard kickoff return. Monte Vista in shape at 6:04 to go. Tied at 28. And, Steve, I hope the other 10 are as good as this one.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to give me some Paxil for my anxiety. I'm going crazy. Somebody give me some prescription drugs. Give me a doctor up here.
That's the first time I've ever heard you ask for prescription drugs.
Well, I can't get them illegally no more.
First down. Good play that time from Antioch. I'm trying to get a number there. I don't think it's Bering because he ran. No, that's Promessi, because Bering's probably trying to get oxygen on the sideline after that 95-yard
and here
return.
comes Beltram out of the lineup limping, and that's going to hurt him if he's hurt. And there's another, Beltram's limping out, and there's another player down for Antioch.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have an injury timeout here, Steve. So let's set the stage for everyone after that craziness, after that kickoff. It's 28-all, 5:47 to go. Monte Vista right at midfield. It's 2nd and 8. And Steve Sanchez, I think we've done all the business we can tonight. We've talked about all of our great sponsors. We've prepped you as much as we can about all these great games. We'll show you once again, for those of you watching this game, next week, College Park in Los Lomas, from Los Lomas, 7 o'clock right here. Remember to always following AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is CC Rock with Metal Matt. And Metal Matt. He goes to all the great shows and brings you all that footage from all those great shows.
He's a young stud. He can do that. But you're like 65, and you still go.
I'm going to see Judas Priest next Saturday night.
Oh, my. You're not going to. Okay,
I
think we got the replay of him stepping out of bounds, and you can see his foot. Let's see if we can't pick it up right there.
Okay.
He's out of bounds. Good call. Right at the 50. Good pickup on that replay, Ron Carter.
Great. All the Monte Vista guys pointing to the end zone, too. That was a good graphic right there. 2nd down. Carpenter in motion, right to pass. Here's a throw in the flat, and that time it's hit at the line of scrimmage by one of the Panthers. And it's going to bring up a huge 3rd down play, Steve, with 5:44 to go in this ball game.
Ain't this fun, Dan?
This one's fun.
This one's fun.
We've had a few, though. We've had a couple of 42 to 3s that weren't this much fun. This one is a lot of fun.
I just hope the people over the Danville area realize that we're homers and we can't help it.
We can't help it
It's
a little
hard.
bit, but we will say that you guys have come over here, the Danville people.
That's right.
The Danville kids, and they've played a great game.
They played a great
This has been
game.
a very good game.
And we love you guys. How's that? Can we
love
kiss
it.
up any more
We
than
love
that?
it. But
we love you
We hope
guys.
Antioch wins by
because
one.
they got nice houses.
3rd and 8. Antioch,
here
great
it is.
play. Inside pitch, Bering breaks a tackle, still on his feet, 1st down. Bering down the right sideline. That was a great call because Antioch brought all the rush, inside pitch, and old Denver Broncos play, and Monte Vista the 1st down.
And to me, he's been the player of the game so far.
Absolutely. Bering's got to be over 150
Here he is,
yards.
Bering with a quick pitch right here. Gets to the outside, has a nice block, breaks a tackle, pulls up about another 10, 15 yards down the sidelines, and real good run.
Loma forced him out of bounds, and a hit came late from Anderson. 1st down, the ball at the 32-yard line. 5:26 to go. Will a field goal come into play here, Steve?
I have no idea what their kickers like, their special teams like, Dan, but I can tell you right now, their coach wants 7. He don't want no 3.
Conti is the field
5
goal
minutes
kicker.
left.
There's Carpenter. They've ran this formation about 40 times tonight. And there's Bering again, and Bering at the line of scrimmage, hit by Redmond. And, Steve, have you ever noticed that the 1st quarter is really hard to do, and the 4th quarter is a breeze?
Oh, we have
Because
fun.
you know everyone then.
That's right.
You know all the
we're
players,
loosened
you know
up.
their plays. You loosen up a little bit.
The
That first
volumes
quarter,
have
though.
kicked in. We're doing fine. Is Beltram back in the game, Dan? Do you know, 33? I was looking for him on the sidelines.
Look at him. Yeah, he's limping a little bit. They're bringing in 54. Jorge Lopez.
Yeah, he's hurt. They're going to have to take him out.
Yeah, Beltram has rushed 6 times for 17 yards on offense and made a number of tackles. I'd have to say Bering on offense, player of the game, and Richie Beltram on defense, player of the game.
Definitely.
2nd and 8. The ball right inside the 30, and I think too much time or an illegal motion. Too much time on Monte Vista. That's the 2nd time in this quarter. And I guess that's a little bit of the inexperience for Wright, Steve.
Yeah, it really is. And, Dan, with 4:23 to go, every little penalty like that hurts. And now it sits them back about 4th and 13, and they had about some things going on, and this puts them in a little bit of a hole right here. So this is a big play coming up right now.
You know, Steve, all those College Park and Los Lomas people are probably wondering, watching this game, who are they going to root for next week? And you know what we're rooting for next week, don't you? Overtime.
There you go.
We want thrills. 2nd and 13. Carpenter once again in motion. Right to pass. Right, big rush. They hit his arm as he throws, and it falls incomplete, intended for Carpenter, who came back across. Joey Loma, the coverage, a big third down play once again, Steve. Now, Monte Vista has been going inside screen, pitch. What they've been doing is exploiting that Antioch defense that's been coming five guys at a time at the line. What will Antioch do on this play? Will they play it a little safer? Will they drop back into coverage? Will they say you got to go 14 yards? Or will they bring everyone once again as Monte Vista calls timeout? And I guess we'll have to wait a minute to see with 4:19 to go.
That was a real nice play by Trucks right there, Dan. He's the one who broke up that he rushed from the outside and broke up that play, hit the quarterback's arm, and that was a big play right there. But there's a third down right here. You know, you're at the where's the ball on the 35, Dan? Yeah, they're at the 35, and it's going to be decision time for Coach Craig Bingham and
Bergman.
It
looks like Bingman.
Because he wrote Bingham there. Anyway, sorry. But this is going to be an interesting two plays right here. With 4:19 to go, this is it, man.
Al Anthony said that Sanchez better dress as good as you do tonight. Yeah, would your business like to join AT&T Broadband Game of the Week? A great opportunity to increase viewer awareness of your business while supporting local high school sports. Call 925-933-6264 for more information. All our great sponsors out here once again this year, and we thank all of them. We thank all of our crew who's done a great job out here tonight setting up at Antioch High School. We thank everyone at Antioch High School. You know, we just thank everyone, Steve.
We want to thank you.
And Sal Listek has shown up, has pizza for us. Of course, Sal's one of our basketball sponsors. You know, we got sponsors everywhere.
We're just sponsored all over the place.
Your last sponsor was at an AA meeting, though, wasn't it?
No, I got rid of him.
3rd and 12. Here we go, back to serious football. Right, they throw the inside screen again. There's a penalty. This one's going to come back. There's another penalty. It looks like the United Nations out there right now, so there's more flags out there.
That's true. Good call, Dan.
Wait to see. I think you're going to get a hold early. I don't know what you're going to get late.
Yeah, Dan, I went to AA, NA, CA, and all I got was freaking A.
You've been waiting all year to use that, haven't you?
Here it is right there.
I don't know what the second penalty was about, but I know the first penalty. There's Sal Listek.
There's our pizza man.
That's Sal, and he's
Straw
waving
hat,
at the camera.
Straw Hat Pizza, Sal. We love you. You do a lot for Antioch High School sports. How's that?
That's and Deer Valley High School.
And Deer Valley High School sports. That's right. There is another high school in this town, isn't there?
Well, we didn't go there. As a matter of fact, when we were going to high school, all that was a road and a field.
And you were out in that road field quite a bit late at night. I got Dan all hooked up.
There's all these people in Walnut Creek are going, how did these two guys even survive to call this game? 4:06 to go, clock running. Now, Steve, this is one of those long ones. This is like 3rd in the Antioch Bridge or something.
Yeah, it really is. And don't put it out of Wright's reach, though, because he's a good quarterback and he's got good wideouts, and they can pick this up. This is a big play of the game right here.
It was holding.
Don't count the Mustangs out right here.
Yeah, holding on that play. It's 3rd and 24. Carpenter in motion. Right to throw. Deep drop.
He's got time.
Looks to Carpenter into the side, and the defense intercepted! Intercepted by D'Lo Hilton, and Antioch takes over at the 20-yard line. 3:38 to go. The first turnover of the game. The second. First of the second half for Monte Vista.
Yeah, and he put the ball up, and right here, here's a replay, Dan. Let's watch it. He gets plenty of time to throw the ball, and he's scary when he gets time. And he throws it out there, and right here, Carpenter looks like he goes, okay, it's mine. And watch this effort by Hilton. What a great interception. Goes up and just takes it away from him. All around athletic play, great play. Antioch's got a chance to steal one.
28 all, 3:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Pate has the ball at the 20-yard line of Antioch. He hands off to McGee. McGee has a hole. McGee has 5 yards, and he's drugged down by Arnellis at the 25-yard line. You know what's weird about this game, Steve? When you think about the histories of these two teams, Monte Vista was always a team that had quickness and speed and did spectacular type things, and Antioch was always a grind 'em,
Power
3
football.
yards. And
Right.
in this game, it's been the other way around. Antioch's made all these great plays, and Monte Vista's running the ball down.
And right here, here's McGee, Dan. He gets to the outside, and watch Arnellis come up, just wrap him up, and makes a good open field tackle for Los Lomos. And Monte Vista, Los Lomos. That's next week.
You're getting ready for next week.
I'm getting ready for next week.
Second down.
Real good play.
Play action. Pate rolling. Pate has first down yardage with the run, and Pate's knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Number 57 was in on that play. Budaselic, also 55 Spitz over there on the tackle. Antioch still needs to go, though, Steve, a long way. Even to get into field goal range, they probably have to go as, oh, there's a penalty flag. That's Bonnie all the way on the other side. Bonnie Zuka threw that penalty flag.
Come on, Bonito, what's up with that?
It was illegal procedure on Antioch, so Antioch must have had someone in motion. It's going to force them to go back and rerun this play. They had a first down, Steve, but it's going to be 2nd and 9. And anything can happen in this juncture.
Oh, you got that right. They're down here in territory where you don't want to turn the ball over. If you turn it over, you've almost lost the game. So you want to be real careful about that. And I think we have it on replay, right? I don't know if we can pick up. Yeah, there you go on the top of the screen up there,
yeah.
Dan. You can see him. He wasn't set, and they snapped the ball. That cost Antioch.
Good call that time. 2nd and 10. The ball at the 20, right back where they started from. A draw play to McGee. McGee runs into one of his own linemen, but he's still on his feet. McGee, open field. He can fly, but he falls down after gaining 15, maybe 16 yards, Steve. That guy has some wheels, though.
Well, right there, Dan, that was McGee on the carry, and McGee made the tackle. He tackled himself. He got in the open field, made so many moves, he couldn't go nowhere. But that was a real good run. Watch him right here. He jukes. He gets caught up a little bit up on the front line right here. And right here, he's got open field right here. Watch him. He goes, whoop, 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 whoop. And he's down.
And Johnny Sino made a good block to spring him there.
Yes, he really did.
To get him out of there. Of course,
Antioch's whole front line has played well today.
This has been a great game for both sides. 2:33 to go. Antioch a first down, 36-yard line. Pate to throw. Pate short drop. Throws one out here in the flat to Hilton. And Hilton is near another Antioch first down. He's going to be just a yard short at the 45-yard line as the clock is running. Antioch probably has to gain another 40 yards to be within any sort of range of Pate, but I don't think that Antioch really wants to rely on a field goal here.
No. With 2:13 to go and counting, they need to get their offense, their hurry-up offense in gear. And here's a replay right here, Dan. And right here, he's just back in the pocket. He's really thrown the ball well in the fourth quarter, Pate really has. I will give him that much. He's played a pretty good game. He's got his feet underneath him, and he's shown me a lot today.
Here's Pate to throw again. Pate has Smith. Smith has some running room. Smith still on his feet at the 40. Smith down to the 35. Antioch another first down on a gain that time, Steve, of close to 20. A minute 46 to go. Game tied at 28. And here's another stat for you, Steve. Is Smith now close to 100 yards receiving. Pate almost close to 200 passing. And McGee, he has 113 yards. McGee has 120 yards. Once again, 2 years in a row against Monte Vista, he's ran for over 120 yards.
And, you know, right here, here he is in the pocket. He stands up tall, throws a real nice ball right on the numbers. And here's Smith making a couple moves. And right here, he picks up a few yards, and he's tackled by a host of Monte Vista players. Antioch's on the move right here, Dan. They got plenty of time. The clock's moving. They need one more big play to have a shot.
Yeah, Smith and Trucks really are two big-time wide receivers here at Antioch. First down, Pate, swing pass to McGee. McGee has a block. McGee is still on his feet, and McGee inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line. A gain of about 4. A minute 14 to go. Antioch is going to call timeout, and they do with a minute 12 to go, Steve. What an ending. You can only hope that this is how all the games on AT&T broadcast.
Exactly. It's our first one of the year, Dan, and we're broadening our horizons and going over the hill and doing different leagues, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun doing them, and if it's anything like this, we're going to have a good time, and it brings a lot of stuff to the town that the kids are playing in, and they can watch themselves on TV. And it's a good time, and it's a good high school sports. Monte Vista has come over here, and I think you hit the nail on the head. They've done a great job.
Isn't that Tim Manley in the middle of all that?
That is Tim Manley right there, folks. And what a great job he does at Antioch High School.
Oh, yes.
Without him, there would be so many kids lost. He really gives the kids a lot of shove, and he stays on them, and Tim Manley does a great job. There's Ferris Anthony's son right there, and right there's the Monte Vista stands across there. The people, there's a JV team, and a lot of the great people from Lafayette who came on over here to watch this game, and right now they're a little concerned.
And don't forget, if you're watching on Saturday night, CC Rock to follow. Great White this month's subject, and of course, there's always like a best of CC Rock that follows the initial CC Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they'll bring one out of the archives, the mothballs, like Dawkins from 1986 or something like that, or Black Sabbath from 1999. Tonight we're out here watching Antioch and Monte Vista in 2001. It's been a great ball game so far. Tied at 28. The ball at the 33-yard line. Antioch second down. 1:12 to go. Pate to throw. Pate flushed out of the pocket. Pate throws over the middle. Oh, it was almost intercepted, and then they're going to call a late hit down here on Spitz as he hit Pate after he threw the ball.
Boy, that play right there, he had about 3 guys open downfield, Dan, as he got out to the outside. And here's your replay right here, Dan. And right here, he gets flushed out of the pocket. Here comes Hogue, and he gets flushed out of the pocket, and he had people open. He just held a little too long, and it got tipped. But as you can see, behind that, he had a couple people open. They're getting him for roughing the passer. They're moving the ball down to about the 25, past the 25. They're going to be down close to the 20.
Well, Steve, that was I think that was a good call. I will only say that because if Spitz hit him after, which we didn't see, you see Pate's stats, he hit him a good 2 steps after he threw the ball. And in high school, you got to protect these kids. This isn't professional football. Antioch a first down, the ball at the 18-yard line. I don't know if they're in field goal range. We haven't seen them kick a field goal, but they're in touchdown range. Pate to the end zone. Pate looking for trucks. Touchdown, Antioch!
Yes.
What a play!
Yes.
Oh, my goodness! Joey Pate, you couldn't have thrown that any better.
What a great throw, Dan. You're absolutely right. What a great throw.
He put that in the right corner. The only guy that could have caught it was Trucks, and he had 1 step to do it in, Steve.
Oh, beautiful throw. He put it where the only guy was going to catch it with Trucks or nobody else, and looks like Antioch's going to get out of here with one right here. Here's Pate. Watch this throw, Dan. Beautiful spiral, and watch where this ends up at. Right on the outstretched hands with 2 yards in the end zone, gets both feet down. Beautiful.
I think that was Brady, Steve, but sometimes it's very, very difficult. Did they miss the extra point?
Yes, they did. we were so excited.
We were so excited looking at the replays. And Antioch missed the extra point, so they've left a minute on the clock, and Monte Vista can go down and score a touchdown and get out of here with a win.
Here it is again, Dan. Watch him reach out here. And the defensive guy had, he didn't know what, he was all over him. Just a beautiful throw and catch. And he's fired up right here, Dan.
Wow, what a fourth quarter for Antioch. 3 touchdowns, Rowe, Smith, and Beltram, and you couldn't ask for any better distribution of your receiving core than that, Steve.
No.
Those are the 3 big guys.
And not only that, you got to take your hat off to Joey Pate. What a great second half he's had, especially a great fourth quarter. He's come out here and he has really showed me that he can throw the football.
You know, another thing though, Trucks has that kind of ability to separate from a guy, even though the guy's giving him great coverage.
Right.
On that play, you couldn't fault the Monte Vista defensive back. He was all over him. But Trucks just has that ability to go that extra step. He's a little bit bigger, his arms are a little bit longer, and he gets out there and he's made a great catch. Him and Smith are a duo to be accounted for. But Antioch's had a lot of trouble here.
I don't kick it to 34, and wisely they didn't.
And they didn't, and it's Carpenter back at his 3. And Carpenter has a hole. And Carpenter's still on his feet, and Carpenter is brought down at the 30-yard line. So Monte Vista has 56 seconds, 2 timeouts, and they trail by 6 in what has been one of the best games we've ever had.
Yeah, I got with that Antioch Deer Valley game last year was a good one.
That was a good game.
And a couple years ago was a good one too. But for opening up the season, we couldn't ask for a better kickoff than what we've had here tonight, Dan. And we knew both these teams were evenly matched. We knew their offenses were good, their skilled players were good, and the stats on both sides of the ball are really good. When this game's over, everybody's going to have good stats, but somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
Here's Wright on first down. Throws a screen pass to Bering. Bering has yardage. Bering still on his feet. Steve, this one isn't over yet.
No.
Someone needs to tackle Colin Bering, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. I can't believe this.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown, Monte Vista.
No flags.
71 yards, 38 seconds to go. And if Antioch had made the extra point, we wouldn't be wondering about it, Steve, but it's tied at 34. Extra point wins this one.
Yep.
The Antioch Panthers cannot believe what is going on. Colin Bering, no one mentioned Colin Bering. He was in there like a footnote, running back Colin Bering.
Right.
No one made him sound like he was going to be the second coming of Barry Sanders.
Here's a replay, Dan.
Unbelievable. Well, Antioch can only hope that this guy misses this extra point.
No
and
good.
He did! This game is unbelievable! He missed it, he rushed the kick, 38 seconds to go. It's tied at 34. What a game.
Let's watch this replay, Dan. And there we go right here. Here's the replay. Little screen pass. And he's in the outside right here. He's looking at the open field. There's a missed tackle. There's a missed tackle. Nice block.
Another nice block.
And he's gone right here. And they missed that extra point, and this is unbelievable. This is crazy.
This is, I'm telling you, folks, this is like an arena football game or something with all the action we've had out here tonight. Man, unbelievable. 34-34, an injured Panther on the field.
There's more action here than there is in Vegas right now.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Well,
there's probably more action here than there is at either of your house, mine.